Okay, the video you all have been waiting for is finally here. Hello and welcome to today's vlog. As you can see, I am finally filming my update on my experience with the program Dynamic Neural Retraining System, or for short we call it DNRS. I've actually been doing this program for the last 9 months now. I've talked about it quite a bit in my videos, but a lot of you have been wanting to hear more about it, so that's what we're going to do today. Now, I didn't really plan this video out. I've got some questions that a lot of you sent me on Instagram, and then I'm just gonna kind of talk from the heart. Just talk about what I think and what I've learned and what I've experienced and whatever is on the top of my head. So let's jump into it. So first of all, I know a lot of you are new to following my YouTube channel or following my journey on Instagram, so just a really quick update. I've been fighting chronic illness for the last 2 years. Currently, my diagnosis is chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, that kind of thing. But I'm actually in the middle of testing, and there's a chance that I could have a different underlying issue that we weren't aware of. So the diagnosis might slightly change, but we're not quite there yet. So I'll keep you updated. So in these last 2+ years, I've tried a lot of different things to help me heal. So there's simple things that have definitely made a difference, like looking at sleep, hormones, nutrition. Nutrition is a huge thing. I love nutrition now. I really care about food. It's made a huge difference, and that's why I share a lot about food, and I'm going to become a nutritional therapy practitioner. I've used lots of different supplements. I've been to the Mayo Clinic and seen some interesting doctors. I've done chiropractic, essential oils, acupuncture, injections of different nutrients. The list goes on and on. I've read countless books, listened to a bajillion podcasts. I've learned a lot. So a lot of those things that I've done, they have helped me. When I really changed my diet, my inflammation markers cut in half. My pain got better when I started really working on my hormones. I had some improvement, but really the debilitating fatigue that I would feel, the pain, the brain fog, the really life-altering symptoms, those never really seemed to change at all. I never really felt like I was progressing until last November was when I started the Dynamic Neural Retraining System, and I met someone over Instagram who introduced me to it, and she has had a lot of progress from POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. I think I said that right. I may have said the O wrong. Anyways, I talked to her quite a bit. I looked at the website, I looked at a lot of the testimonials, and it really became clear to me that it was something I needed to at least try. And then the more I looked into the science of what neuroplasticity is, it was all really clicking to me and making sense. I just knew that it was going to be an important part of my healing journey. I'll link the video down below that is about whenever I started the program and how it started to benefit me. But just short version, it was probably 2 or 3 days into it that I noticed a huge shift. The first shift in energy and mood, and I mean, all my symptoms just literally felt improved in 3 days. Nothing had ever helped me like that before, ever. In all of my time dealing with chronic illness, it was crazy to me how much it was working, because I was excited about it but was also pretty skeptical, and I heard a lot of really cool stories, but I wasn't really sure. Basics in the beginning. So I'll definitely link the website down below. That is the specific program that I'm using. But I really want to make it clear what I'm sharing with you right now. It's not all about this program. Clearly, as I'm about to share, this program has really helped me, but I know there are a lot of different great programs like this one, and I'm also going to share some resources that are for free online that potentially could help you accomplish some of the same things as well, because I know how difficult the financial part of it can be. And I'm definitely not affiliated with DNRS in any way. I just have been doing it and I really appreciate it and whatnot. Okay, so also I get a lot of questions about like what does DNRS specifically help. There's a lot of like FAQs that you can get the answers to on the DNRS website, so definitely look on there. They have a whole list of the different things that DNRS can help with. They range from depression and anxiety to PTSD to POTS, multiple chemical sensitivity, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, mold illness, etc. So one of the main questions I get about DNRS all the time is, what actually is the program? What is the practice that you're doing every single day? Is it diet? Is it exercise? And I know whenever someone first told me about it, I was like, what is this? Like, there aren't a lot of clear answers on the internet, and I totally understand, and I wish I could just give the program away to you completely for free, and I can't do that because that's illegal. But like I said, I'm gonna share some links and stuff that may help you learn about it for free. I'm gonna do the best I can about really explaining what DNRS is. Okay, so the science. What is neuroplasticity? For a long time, we thought that our brains were hardwired, they couldn't be changed. Pretty recently-ish, we've learned that our brains are really like plastic. They have the ability to change and to rewire. And how we live our lives, the thoughts that we think, the things that we do, the beliefs that we have, that will affect the way that our brain rewires. So what self-directed neuroplasticity is, it's literally rewiring your brain. And I love that it's so biblical. There's so many things in scripture about renewing your mind and taking every thought captive. If you're new, I love Jesus. I'm really open about it. If you don't love Jesus, you can keep watching, it's fine. I'm not mad. So we're rewiring our brains. How do you rewire your brain, Mandy? And then why would you want to? So a lot of people don't realize, and I didn't really realize for a long time, that whether I have chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia, or if I end up finding out that I have Lyme disease or mold related illness, whatever toxicity or virus or trauma, whatever happened in me, that affected my brain. And it's got me now in this chronic fight or flight mode where I'm constantly, my brain is recognizing things as life-threatening. And that's why back in November, or right before that, before I started DNRS, walking for just a little bit, my body would freak out because it's taking it as life-threatening. Or a lot of different foods that I would eat, it was taking it as life-threatening. Or I would watch an intense TV show or movie and I would feel worse afterwards because it was just stressing out that fight or flight system in my brain. And so I'm gonna calm down my brain and help it learn to be healthy, happy, and strong again. There is so much information. This is part of why I've been hesitant to put out this video, but I know a lot of people are wanting to learn more, and I know it will help a lot of people. So I want to explain, what is the practice? What am I actually doing? How has it helped me? Then I want to get to some of your questions that you asked on Instagram. I'm literally still getting questions to this minute. So the biggest part of the program and the practice that I do every single day, I do 1 hour every single day. I know it sounds like a lot, and it is. It takes discipline, but it has been so worth it. So what are you doing during that 1 hour? Well, essentially, I would put it in the same category as meditation. And I really enjoy meditation, and I've done a lot of guided meditation, but it's a different level in the fact that it's very strategic. So the meditation, the practice, it's involving like proclamations, affirmations, just kind of speaking life over yourself essentially. Then the biggest portion of it is visualization, because now we know through backed up science, our brain doesn't really know the difference between what we visualize and what's actually real. So when you're doing the visualizations, you're reminding your brain of what it feels like to be calm and healthy and happy and all those good things. The more you get your brain back on that path, it starts to rewire. Also in the practice, you're getting yourself into like an emotional state, like a very feel-good, warm and fuzzy state, and that helps your brain rewire even more. I'm not an expert on this, but there's a lot of great information out there. I'll get to my recommendations and resources soon. This video is gonna be long. I need to keep going. A lot of people ask about the hour. Do I have to do the whole hour all at once? Most people do the hour in 4 rounds, and they just do 15-minute rounds. That's typically what I do. I usually do 2 rounds together in the first half of the day and 2 rounds in the second half of the day. Some people, if they struggle to do a full 15 minutes for a round, they'll do 10-minute rounds. Really, the main thing is you want to get in at least an hour a day, and I've heard of people doing up to 4 hours, and I think 4 hours is the max that they recommend. I've never really done much more than an hour and 15 minutes, but I really want to try it though. So the visualizations, you're reflecting on past memories, you're thinking about the future, stuff like that. Now, there are other things that are part of the program that you learn in the DVDs, or if you go to the in-person training, about how you change your thought process in everyday life. And that would take me a lot to get into, but that has been really life-changing to even just kind of talk to myself differently and think about symptoms and having illness in general. I think about all of that really differently. Yeah, I'm not gonna explain all of that, but that is a part of the program if you decide to do it. So now I know so many people want to know about how I've been doing. In DNRS, they recommend that you do at least 6 months of the practice and continue until you're completely well. Obviously, as I've said, I've been going on for 9 months and I'm not completely healed yet, but I have made significant progress, and I'm gonna tell you about that right now. Back in April, Becca Beats 2002 on Instagram, she sent me a bunch of questions about DNRS, and I'm kind of using these as a framework for how I'm telling you about how I'm doing. Thank you, Becca, for messaging me and sending me these. It really helped me process what I'm gonna say. So she asked, in what ways do you feel better or worse physically? So first of all, I don't feel worse at all, which is amazing. When it comes to feeling better, I have made very real change and progress. And people ask exactly what, and it's hard for me to explain sometimes because basically it's just like my capacity has increased. And I'll give some specific examples. I have less fatigue, I have less pain, I have more energy, less brain fog. You know, kind of the general symptoms have been minimized to an extent, and my capacity has increased. Before I started the program, I felt like I was dying. I was literally considering applying for like a handicap parking spot and using the motorized grocery carts at the grocery store, just trying to make life work, you know? And in some ways I felt like I was getting worse. I was afraid that I could like end up in a wheelchair or something. Yeah, it's a really scary thought, but I don't think about that at all because I can walk more. I've just been able to do so much more, and I hardly ever flare up. And when I like start to kind of feel a flare coming on, I literally, it's crazy, since I've done my practice, I feel it in my brain. Like, it's different sometimes. Sometimes I'll feel kind of like a pulsing, and sometimes the right side of my head will kind of feel numb. Another thing I'll get often is just a little swelling right here. That's how I know you better hurry up and go practice. And I'll go practice, and it'll totally calm all my symptoms down, and it'll keep me from going into a flare. So that is amazing. I've been teaching a dance class, a ballet class, once a week, and I'm not able to fully dance. I have an assistant who demonstrates for me, but I'm walking around for the whole hour. I feel totally fine grocery shopping, going to church. There are definitely still a lot of limits in my life, but I'm slowly but surely pushing past a lot of them. Becca asked what triggers a flare-up now, and I kind of just answered that, but the program has really helped me learn what my limits are. And then you'll do something called incremental training, where every day you'll slowly push yourself past the limit a little bit, and then you'll practice right afterwards. Like whenever I teach dance, I usually practice right before and right afterwards to kind of sandwich it, and it totally like helps me be able to do it and not flare up, and I've slowly been able to handle it better and better. Other things I've noticed, I'm tolerating foods a lot better, my digestion has improved, and again, like all of these things, I really wish I could tell you I was completely healed, and I have not, but it has been improvement, and improvement is really exciting and is very helpful. Really, my life is just more manageable right now. I'm not saying no to things all the time anymore, or like saying no to everything. I'll get to more specific questions in a moment. Maybe that'll help me talk about that a little bit better. Also, total side note that I just have to put in there, whenever people tell me they order the DNRS DVDs, please just know they're pretty cheesy. It feels pretty outdated. Part of me wishes I could go like help them just up the quality a little bit, but obviously it's still effective, at least for a lot of people. Just had to throw that in there. Recap for me, I'm very excited about the progress that I made, and I'm not gonna lie, like I wish it only took me 6 months. Like that would be amazing if that was what I need to heal, but every single person is different. I've gotten messages from quite a few people who have emailed me and Instagram me, all kinds of things, of people using the program, hearing about it from me, and they're like healed now. They're doing all kinds of things that they weren't doing before, and that really excites me. And I'm like, okay, Lord, like I'm just having to be patient that every person is different, and it's maybe taking me longer than some people and not as long as other people. Yeah, but I am just very grateful for how much it has helped me. Something I didn't say is the difference that I notice when I don't practice. So I hit 6 months right before I went to New Mexico, and I decided like this is a great time to just try out not practicing and see what happens. So I took that week off. I had the biggest flare that week that I have had since before I started practicing. It was horrible. I was miserable. And like maybe 2 days ago, I had a really busy day, and for whatever reason, I was just like, I'm just not practicing today. And I can totally feel the difference the next day. Pain kind of spiked a little bit, and my brain felt that weird pulsy feeling. So I am definitely gonna keep going, because when I don't, I notice the difference, and when I do, I feel better. It's worth it. It takes discipline. But yes. Okay, I opened up my Instagram questions. Do you feel like you'll fully recover with DNRS? And I think that's a really good question, because a lot of people who do the program, they will only do DNRS. No medication, no supplements. Some people don't even really focus on nutrition. And I really just want to make it clear that I really believe in having a holistic approach to things, where you're addressing multiple lifestyle factors. As many of you know, I am seeing a functional medicine doctor, and I'm in the middle of a lot of different testing. I believe that I could completely heal with DNRS, but if there's more that I can do, if there's more underlying issues that I haven't gotten to the bottom of, I want to figure those things out. To me, DNRS is just a piece of the puzzle, and it's been a very significant piece for me. So I'm gonna keep doing it until I recover, but as I said, I'm looking into other things that could help as well. Are you gonna come say hi?
What?
I said I paused my filming so I can say hi to you. Where'd you go?
Fuzzies. I ate a taco and a burrito. Also, this shirt.
Someone asked me if I ever do buddy rounds with other believers, and my best friend actually did DNRS for a little while, and we did some buddy rounds together. Buddy rounds just means that you practice together, and listening to them practice can count as one of your rounds, which is really helpful. And I've only done them with her so far. She asked if I have a coach. There are DNRS coaches out there that you can work with. I've never worked with a coach. I hear that can be really helpful, but I haven't personally done it. Should it be recommended by a doctor, or can you begin it on your own? You definitely can begin it on your own, and I have heard of doctors recommending it, which is cool. Is it hard when you're really fatigued to focus on it? Yeah, sometimes it can be hard. It's really gotten easier and easier for me. It's probably harder in the beginning. Some people want to know too, like, do you have to be standing up when you practice? I did stand up a lot in the beginning, but honestly, a lot of the time, I'll literally just like lay down here. Oftentimes, I'll lay on this little acupuncture mat. It's got these little spikies on them, if you can see. Sometimes I do it in the car whenever my husband's driving us somewhere. I did it in the closet a lot in the beginning just because I really wanted to kind of get away. I do all kinds of things when I practice. Yeah, sometimes it can be hard to focus, and I just do it anyways. Sometimes I definitely do not want to do it, but I just do it anyways. Do you still use meds and supplements while you do this? I am taking a few supplements still that my doctor wants me to stay on. I'm not on any medication other than hormone replacements, but it's like bioidentical hormones. Can it take a long time to see benefit? I think every single person is different. From a lot of testimonies I've seen, people often notice a difference or like a shift pretty quickly, like I did. There are a lot of cool testimonies online. I definitely recommend watching those, but at the same time, I know for some people it takes a while before they really notice a difference. Someone said, I'm a normal 30-year-old with acne. Should I do DNRS? So if by normal you mean generally healthy, then I think there are other things you can do, like meditation. James and I have been using the Headspace app a lot, and we love doing that. That can add a lot of mental benefit to your life. And you mentioned acne. I think I would say look at nutrition mostly for that, but every lifestyle factor plays into the skin and the body and all those good things. Someone asked if it helps with anxiety, and it definitely has helped my anxiety. I definitely can have my anxiety and depressive symptoms pop up sometimes, but they've been significantly improved. I've had way fewer panic attacks. How does your brain / neuroplasticity affect physical health so much? So there are a lot of conditions out there today that's related to basically having like a broken brain, and when your brain is cross-wired, your brain is sending false signals to your body. Like your brain and your gut, they're kind of like command centers, like they're telling everything what to do. They're sending these signals to respond in certain ways, and like for me, they're creating certain symptoms. So it's not just like it's in my head, like I'm making it all up. It's making the symptoms happen. So when I rewire my brain, it's starting to send the right signals to my body. Now there are a lot of issues like certain autoimmune diseases that I think like meditation is really helpful for, but I'm not really sure how much neuroplasticity in this specific program would help. So many good questions. I'd love to hear more about how you tie God into it. Found this a little bit challenging at first. Most of the time for my practice, I love to incorporate music. Sometimes I'll just play like meditation-y music, but a lot of times I'll play worship music, and a lot of my visualizations involve worshiping, being at church. Sometimes I'm just picturing myself having a really serene, quiet time as part of my memories. I dance a lot in my visualizations, so I'm like worshiping and dancing to the music. And then in the affirmations that I wrote for myself, I have some like biblical truths that I say, and that's another way that I incorporate it. So for those of you who do the program, this is a fun tip that's really helped me, is sometimes I'll voice record myself doing a round, and I've got different rounds recorded on my phone. So when I really don't feel like being creative, I'll just play it back, kind of like a buddy round with myself. That's been helpful. Does it help with the nervous system, i.e. POTS? It definitely does. The person who introduced me to it has been recovering from POTS, and it's helped her immensely. So many questions, but I think I addressed a lot of them already, and I know this video is getting long. Last thing. So there's a DVD program, which is what I did. I haven't read the book. I've heard it's really good, but you have the option to buy a book too. And there's an in-person training you can do that I hear great things about. I didn't do that, but A lot of people absolutely love it, and I'm sure it's really cool to do with other people too. I believe the price is somewhere between $200 and $300, so not free, but honestly cheaper than a lot of things out there. That in itself is cheaper than many of the tests that I just did. Just off of the top of my head, a couple of resources of things that has really been helpful to me. One is Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's written a couple books. Then I've seen a few different YouTubers out there that talk about DNRS. One girl that I absolutely love, and she's become a friend to me, we've FaceTimed before, is Sarah Jackson Panther. She is just absolutely amazing, and she's got some good YouTube videos on DNRS. Then the last thing I want to share are 2 videos from the Hansa Center. And basically it's just a portion of this class the doctor is teaching about self-directed neuroplasticity, and it's essentially very similar to the DNRS practice. He doesn't go nearly as in-depth, but if you're really not able to like purchase a program or a program like that, like I said, there's other ones out there, and you want to try it, it would give you some tools to start a little bit and see if it makes a difference maybe. And then of course the DNRS website, which has all kinds of testimonials and FAQs and all those good things. Oh man, after talking this much, I can start to feel my brain ready for a practice round, so I'll probably do that soon. I know I covered a lot, and I really hope that helps you some. It's so incredible getting to see people healing through self-directed neuroplasticity. I get so excited when I talk to people and get messages about how this has helped them. I'm just so grateful it's helped me, so I'm gonna just continue to share it with people. Yeah, I'll have to talk about it more often because I know a lot of people are interested. If there's anything that I didn't address, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to answer you down there, or I'll try to make a video about it soon. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.